Ever since I was a foal, my fathers and the centaurs of Sotiri would tell me stories about the stars, that they were magic and made from the gods who made the gods, the elders, beings of great wisdom, ingenuity, and power. They were considered fairy tales, myths, that they didn't exist, or, if they did, they were long, long gone. But I always wanted to hear about them and learn more anyway, even into adulthood. It was a desire that filled my whole being, something I needed, like how the sea needs the moon. I never believed for a second I would see an elder shard, let alone hold one, but I did. Its power filled me with strength and skill, flooding every part of mine and my companions' beings as we killed a god. We killed a god. Pirate Queen, Sea Hag, the mother of krakens, the great unbeheld, Eula Saltsmile. But the power was fleeting, temporary. It was gone as soon as it arrived, and once again I felt empty. But this time, I realized I was empty, that something was missing, that I was lost. Now I know and recognize that I was just foam drifting on the waves, a yearning that I had my whole life that I never knew about returned, and with it, a voice, calling, one whose words I cannot hear, nor am I able to respond to, no matter how hard I try.
Hey! Hi! I don't have time for this. No offense, very busy. Hand me that red flask. The one on the left. Your other left. Oh, it's Wynni, sea scavenger extraordinaire. Shouldn't she be scavenging? Yes, I should. But no, there's things out there. Star things. Powerful things. World-changing things that need to be investigated. There's something... Jeffrey, don't eat that. Something I know I knew. There's so much I don't remember, don't know. I have to relearn it, but how? So, I'm here, experimenting, trying not to set the ship on fire. I don't even know what I'm looking for, exactly. Can a star be created? Can you get close to making a star? How do you reverse engineer the biggest magical object you've ever come across when you don't even have it anymore? See, I'm really good at the questions, but all I'm finding so far are more of them and no answers. Well, and a potion that makes you, really strong. That's not what I wanted. Hey, do you... No, Jeffrey, don't eat that!
After so many years under Eula's thumb and having my whole life determined for me, being told what was right and what was wrong, having no one else but her, I'm finally free. Or so I thought. It was never redemption that I yearned for. No, someone like me could never do enough to make up for all the bad I've done in the name of a fake idol. All I've ever wanted was to be desired, and in my search for it, I betrayed the one who made me. I betrayed her for the thing that she feared most, and I tore her and her kingdom down. Now, it's all I can feel. It's hunger, a constant reminder of what lurks just below the surface. Its name occurs across my skin, ever present, ever threatening. I led it here. I fed it power, and it wants more. It craves the power that only the gods wield, and it will destroy me to get it. So, I'll just have to destroy it first.
Everyone lives their lives bound by what they accept as correct and true. That is how they define their reality. But what does it mean to be correct or true? those are merely vague concepts. Their reality may be all a mirage. I was an arbiter of a zealot Triton tribe, the Nalos. I was true to my traditions until I found my reality was a mirage, an illusion to subjugate my people and gain power for an evil demigod. Now I have been touched by darkness and broken by a false oath. Tell me where I should go now. To the left, where nothing is right, or to the right, where nothing is left? I turn to the shadow, for that is the only place for a monster like me. I am the ghost of the Tritons. I am the darkness of the Nalos. I am the unholy warrior of the seas. I am the Shadow Knight, Proximus.
Waves crash on the beach of an endless sea. In them you hear a voice, a beckoning lure you have heard so many times before. It is the song of the horizon. She calls to you. She sings of endless wonders and untold horrors, of golden promises and dire warnings, and you know her song. It has always been there. Listen, can you hear it? The wind is in your favor, the tide is rising, the sea is yours for the taking, and your ship awaits. Fair winds and following seas, brave mariner. May fortune find you when the horizon calls.
Ahoy and welcome everybody. Welcome back to Horizon's Call. It is very nice to have you all here. My name is Derek Sword. I am your GM, or as I like to refer to myself, the guiding compass as you navigate the tumultuous seas. Horizon's Call is an oceanic homebrew game based in the oceanic world of Damaris. So before we go any further, I'm going to let these lovely people to my left introduce themselves, say a little bit about themselves, their characters, all that kind of stuff. So Mare, if you wouldn't mind starting us out.
Hello, I am Mare, and I use they, she pronouns. Today I am playing Acacia, your lovely soul knife rogue, where last week half of what we talked about was horse math.
Horse math. Horse crimes and horse math are a weird through line for this game that will be on our merch in the future. Thank you, Mare. Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl. I'll be playing Proximus, the Shadow Knight, your Triton paladin, sorcerer. Yep, that's it.
Both can be true. And as always, a special thank you to Mikyl for doing the art for this game that you see on the screen that you will see in the near future as well. Thank you, Mikyl. Kaila.
Hello, I'm Kaila. I play Scarlett Shores, she, her. Our siren warlock turned wereshark.
Not just yet, but maybe soon. Yeah, she got bit. Lastly, Eva, if you don't mind rounding us out.
I sure don't. Hi, I'm Eva. I am the other half of Sword and Key, and I am playing your sea elf, alchemical artificer, Wynni. With, yes, her little, her little currently sleeping companion, homunculus servant, little Jeffrey.
Yeah,
He's just sleeping. He'll be
just
right back.
Little disabled, got a little chomped up.
After these messages.
Yes, yeah, we will address all that in the recap here. Before we get to the recap, like I said, my name is Derek Sword. I use he/him pronouns. Yes, Sword is my real last name. Yes, it is awesome. No, you can't have it. But again, before we get to the recap, I do want to address you, the audience member. You're amazing. We appreciate you. You actually can both support and impact this game in a single action, which is kind of cool. We super appreciate if you do choose to support this channel. You can do so directly through Twitch, which is great. You can actually check the chat to see kind of how things work. It's essentially $5 for an advantage, $10 for a crit, so on and so forth. You can also introduce what's called a black spot, which is a complication to the game, such as Scarlett getting bit by a wereshark. That was a black spot that got resolved, so additional complication that might not have appeared otherwise. Again, donating through Twitch is appreciated. It's great. It supports the channel directly. However, we super encourage you to donate directly through our Pally, pally.gg, specifically for this channel, specifically for this show. By doing so, you can actually directly support this cast. Any donations you make through Pally get divided equally between the cast and any production staff that we have. So that is the best way to show these people that you appreciate their acting and everything they do, because they're incredible people. They're incredible, artists and actors and everything along those lines. So definitely support them through that. I believe that is it. Yeah. So with that, we have a recap. So Kaila, if you don't mind taking this one away.
Yeah, I was joking in our back chat earlier that I was gifted the easiest of recaps. Basically, what you missed last week was invading forces actually invading and causing a lot of destruction and a lot of death, unfortunately. Our party got kind of cornered in through the town square where the trial was taking place. There were can't pronounce the word all of a sudden. Weresharks and insert creature here, Derek.
Sahuagin.
Thank you. Can't pronounce that word. Brain says no. Took our party a little bit by surprise as it all of a sudden happened. There were flames. There were trampled festivities. Let's be real. Scarlett got bit by a wereshark. Acacia got very large, thus the horse math. The backtrack in the party wanted her to go larger, but we decided against it. A large Acacia got the Eaveswalker hand out of the way of danger, minus our little pinky. Wow, races are hard today, apparently. Tiefling Pinky out of the way, but Proximus took care of it gracefully. And we were luckily had help from a few centaurs as well as Buck, who came to our rescue. Wynni was flying. Poor Joffrey got chomped on and is powered down for now until he can be repaired. And we were making our way to the ship while Acacia and Wynni were on their way to... Shoot. Words. Why do you let me recap, Derek?
Everybody gets a turn. You're doing great.
The party split. One half going to the dry docks to rescue the ship. Acacia and Wynni off to help villagers and those in need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Knocked it out of the park.
Words are just hard, okay?
Words are hard. Thank you, Kaila. Okay. Well, with that, actually, there is one last thing that I forgot to mention. Certain Key is casting right now, so if you head over to our Twitter, there's my dog for some reason. If you head over to our Twitter, you can check out the form fillable there. On Sundays, we are going to be running games of Trophy Dark as well as games of Mothership, both run by Anik. So check that out. It's Twitter Sword and Key with Sword and Key separated by underscores. Okay. With all that said, and with Eva yelling at our dog, we're gonna go ahead and move into the story. So, the party has split, as Kaila mentioned. We have Wynni along with Acacia, who are escorting the refugees. Acacia did break back with Darius to get some things from their home, as well as along the way, Darius would have asked you to stop at Father's Fine Finds. He had a back entrance, of course, rogues and all that. And he grabs a couple of quick things. Basically, one thing you notice is there's a bag that you might not have seen before. That he kind of slings over your back, and you are able to slink very carefully through the darkness. But Cora is absolutely up in flames, and you can see that there are patrols of Nerian guards now. No longer are these Sahuagin, no longer are these armored hill giants. These are the human soldiers of the Nerian Empire. And even from afar, because you have great perception and everything, you can see that they are dressed in not even what nautical armor would be, in the sense of like, oh, if you go overboard, there's a chance you might not sink. These guys are in like splint, they're in half plate, shields, spears, swords, sometimes axes. They're marching in groups of 10 and carrying torches as well to try to light their way. So they are easy to see from far away, and your roguish skills would also inform you that them holding torches also makes it harder for them to see long distances. They get that torch blindness, which is a thing. So, Acacia, you were able to make it back to this large group of refugees who are all heading for an area that you might not have been super familiar with. But Darius kind of explains to you that this is an area that they have always kind of prepared for, just in case. It's kind of an escape area. It's potentially not meant for this many people, which is the unfortunate thing, but they do have several ships there. What condition those ships are in is kind of a question mark. But that's their best hope of escape right now. We're going to cut over to, from there, Scarlett, Proximus, and Konnery, their Leonin captain of their ship. We're all heading to the dry docks to hopefully free the redemption from the dry docks. So you all rolled stealth last time. It was enough to get past a couple of guards. You were able to get to a point where you can see the redemption. It's in a dry dock, which is this like half circle kind of dip with this dam holding back the water line, essentially. And the ship is up on stilts. And you can see, like, it is a totally new ship. I mean, literally the hull of it was replaced. It is reinforced with these adamantine bars. You can see that there are new weapons attached. The sails have been replaced. It almost seems a little bit larger than it was before, just slightly, just like another extra 10 feet or so. But then there's also this very beautiful ram and figurehead attachment to the front. In addition to all of that, you can see that guards have been placed at intervals around, again, these groups of 10 guards that are patrolling, and then there are intermittent guards as well, all holding large crossbows that seem to have been posted up. If you would like to see anything besides that, we can roll for perception, but that is what you're getting, at least from the darkness of where you are right now.
As we're standing there, I'm gonna reach over to Scarlett and put my hand on her shoulder and cast Lay on Hands. 30 points of healing to put you at 69.
Nice. Not that... That's the most
right.
meta thing. I support that
automatic. Automatic.
Like I'm not a big fan
nice.
of like metagaming or anything, but that is the best type of metagaming. So.
You might need this a little bit more than I do. As like blood is pooling up at the like I look rough, but
I think we all look rough.
Yeah,
everybody took some hits. Yeah.
I do have a wall of water, and we could put water be underneath the ship, but we need to get that door open to get out to sea.
I think I can take care of that. Maybe. Konnery
kind of looks over to the two of you. I I'm not sure what you mean by a wall of water, but yes, we do need to get that dam open. It's the only thing that'll get that ship free, and you need to get, if there's anybody around or on that ship, we especially need to get these soldiers off of it.
I could at least get water underneath. We just need to get the door open, and then...
That's honestly half of it.
I can shatter the door. The dam. I think I've got enough. I think I've got enough in me left for that.
Well, I highly suggest we do this sneakily. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot more heat on us than we particularly want. How would you all like to proceed?
Can I look and see if there's maybe like a pattern to like the way that they're like Solid Snake? Like I'm looking for a pattern of movement with the guards.
Yeah, so there is a patrol of 10 guards, which is, I mean, they are basically just like going from one end. So the dry dock, if you think of it like a horseshoe, right? Because you've got the ocean, you've got the dam, and then you've got the actual dry dock itself where the ship is. So this patrolling group of 10 guards is just kind of going from one end and back. They are patrolling. Now from there, there are additional like singular crossbowmen who have been placed every 25 feet, which is just about the edge of where like their torch can kind of extend to. So they have torches that they've kind of planted in the ground on these more like poles, and then every 25 feet there is a crossbowman, so you can very easily avoid this patrol of 10. The dangerous thing is if you take out a crossbowman and you're not quiet about it, you're going to have all the other ones pointing at you, as well as this group of 10 coming at you as well. And that can get overwhelming very quickly.
So we want to be quiet. Probably shouldn't just do magic willy-nilly. Can I look around to see if there is like a lever or something for this dam?
Yeah, go ahead and roll for perception. That good, huh?
Oh, no, it's a 15.
Okay, yeah. 15's pretty good. Yeah, so you can see that there is a lock system on the dam itself. So it's basically these two very wide doors. There are gears attached to it, and almost like a control house sort of thing. So you would imagine that to open the dam the way it's supposed to be opened, the controls are within this little like house towards almost the water's edge. Otherwise, it does seem to have some sort of manual override to it. You could probably even, like a super strong person could probably, open it themselves. There is like a cross-latching lock that if you were strong, you could actually like lift that, and probably water pressure would push the doors open. You wouldn't want to be standing on the other side when that happened, because then you'd have the force of the entire ocean kind of, rushing in at you. I will hand this to you as well for a 15. You notice that there are individuals standing on the deck of the Redemption as well. You can make out 3 individuals who are walking around that don't have torches.
But I can't tell who those individuals are.
They're humanoid. Yeah, you can't really tell if there's any specifics to them.
Can you see the hamster running?
I can. Would you like? I tell you what. I will give you all a chance to strategize. We're going to cut back over to Wynni and Acacia. So Acacia, you make it back to the refugees. This long line of people kind of moving in the night. Some of them have wagons with personal belongings. Some of the wagons are also occupied by injured citizens of Cora. As you get closer, Darius, jumps off with his couple of bags of things and runs up to Curio, puts his arm around him. Wynni, what have you been doing? We mentioned last time that you've been doing a little bit of healing here and there. What else are you up to?
Yeah, at any point where she can spare the dying, if there's someone who's healing who looks like they need a little bit of, if they're flagging, if they're getting tired, she's gonna offer a little bit of her crushed seaweed, and offer guidance, and if she comes across any of the crew, honestly, she'll mention that they're working on clearing the redemption and getting it out of drydock, and to maybe gather but wait, and stay out of don't get into any fights, but if they can make their way in that direction, help those they can.
Yep. Acacia, you have just about gotten back. There are several centaurs kind of marching along as well, attending to some folks where they can. Some centaurs have actually provided, their back horse end for those who can't travel well to ride on if they're able to. What would you like to do now that you've gotten back?
Winnie's off doing her own thing, and the other two are figuring out the drydock problem. I'm keeping an eye out for Bass, and if there is anyone, if I don't see him and there's someone I kind of know, I'd like to go up and ask them if they've seen him, if he's still back in the town square, if he's helping people. General direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and roll for perception. It is nighttime. I believe you do have dark vision, but
yeah, I think it's like 60 feet.
Yeah, not a lot of torches, but yeah.
I got a 5 on the die, so a 16.
Okay. So you would notice, probably for a few others, that they're kind of in the night. You would at least recognize it now, having seen it before. Are a number of centaurs riding towards you, running towards you. I guess they're technically not riding themselves. So there are a small group of centaurs, and you would see as they get closer, they are led by Bass, who is holding a torso wound kind of tight to himself. But he kind of comes up to you and gives you a smile. And how's everything going?
I can ask you the same thing.
It's fine. It's healing slowly. I used a lot of my energy on other people.
Come on, I can get you wrapped up well. We all figure out what the heck we're doing. I'll just lead him off to a direction. If there's someone does have medical supplies, like if Wynni has any spares or if Dad does, I'll snag some stuff, like just bandages.
Medical supplies are absolutely going around, and yeah, Curio, like looking up at you, would hand you off some gauze and wrap for Bass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'll say you can absolutely like walk and kind of wrap as you're doing this.
I'm not walking far, just somewhere we're not in the middle of the street blocking heavy traffic and people trying to get somewhere.
Absolutely.
So just like off to the side on the street or wherever exactly where we are. And I'll just begin wrapping him up. Hold still. I know it's gonna hurt, but
yeah, it does. All right.
Don't you have magic? Or did you use it all, being a badass?
Well, those are your words, not mine. I was doing my best, and a lot of people, and a lot of centaurs were hurt, so yeah, I'm a bit tapped out right now.
understandable. I think we're all just a little tapped out. I don't look, but like obviously motion like I'm hurt. I'm not doing the best either, but
Yeah, you're not looking great yourself. Maybe save some of that for you two?
I plan on chugging a potion before we head over to dry docks. So
By the way, is that how you got big? You got big.
yeah, that was Wynni, the sea elf.
Oh.
She knows some tricks, to put it simply.
Yeah, you ran over a giant. That was very impressive, by the way. I meant to say that.
It was hard, but worth it. Now I can add something to my repertoire on what I've done. Shoulder checked a giant. It's fine.
Anyway, what's the plan? Where is everybody even going?
I know Cora citizens are trying to get as many people out as they can. They've apparently had some ships stocked out hiding back here for escape missions. I want to know what the centaurs are doing. Do you plan on just going back out to the fields and just playing keep away?
I mean, again, your words, not mine, but I'm not
They're
sure.
effective.
Here's the thing. We're not the only herd. And if the Empire is going to invade, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to make our lives a lot worse by making us imperial like them, which means that they would also conscript centaurs like me, like the other foals, or they're going to just end our lives. There's not a lot of in-between from what I've heard.
Yeah.
So we're going to join with the other herds and resist as much as we can.
I kind of do like a snug tug of the bandages before like finishing
okay. All right.
It wasn't. It didn't. Listen, I didn't mean to hurt. It's just got to make sure it's not going to fall off while you're galloping away.
Listen, I doubt you have enough room for a single centaur herd, let alone however many there are at this point. Upwards of 15 last time I checked.
If it was my ship and we had the room, I would offer, but...
And I'd turn you down. This is...
Your home.
More than even the people of Cora, this is my home. Acacia, we can't... I can't give it up without a fight. And there's enough land here that we can fight.
Or run, if you need to.
Or run.
There's nothing wrong with running. Especially when half the herd is elderly or are just learning how to gallop.
All right.
I'd rather have you alive and running than dead.
I'd rather have you somewhere safe, by the way.
We're working on it. We've been offered to go to the Sea Elves. So.
All right. Not a lot of area to run in Sea Elf kingdoms, as far as I know, but... what do I know?
I'm still figuring out what I want to do, but my priorities are keeping my dad's safe.
Mm-hmm.
So them first, then I'll figure out myself.
All right, then. Well, Acacia, let's keep each other safe till then.
And don't say goodbye.
Oh, not yet.
Goodbye.
Never will be.
Listen,
Saying bye to you is never going to be a good thing.
No. Listen, if you need me for anything, you or your grandmother or someone else send me, and I will be here as fast as I can, my friend.
I know.
Like, I will learn how to fly. I
thought Wynni actually was doing that earlier too, so it shouldn't be that hard.
She was, and I might even call in like Winnie's friends for favors to get here faster. She's friends with a dragon turtle.
Oh.
So.
Winnie's terrifying. I had no idea.
Winnie's friends are terrifying.
So you all are able to make it through the night, and you end up getting to the area where your dads at least stop, and you have the members of the Hand, these other members of the Eve Walkers, as well as other citizens of Cora. It is in and of itself a sort of dry dock, but Acacia would probably have seen the newer dry dock that belonged to, the shipwrights. This is rudimentary at best. You basically have there are 5 keel boats that are all on these launches. These they have a crank lever that will extend them out and eventually drop them into the ocean. And these ships are a little rough. They have not been. You're kind of in this this rocky outcropping that has kept them out of the rain and a lot of the elements. But definitely, this is. It's not like somebody has been coming out and polishing these. The sails are a little rough. There's probably animals living on board, but there are. So you kind of have sandy beach. And then, like I said, 5 of these launches that these ships extend outwards to get in deep enough water for the keel boats. And at that point, hopefully by paddling or by sail, you all could make it out to deep enough water. And I will let you all decide what you want to do from there as we cut back to Proximus, Scarlett, and Konnery. So, redemptions before you in dry dock. You guys have a couple of ways that you can potentially do this. How would you like to begin your? I'm going to call it an assault, but however you want to define this.
How far is between us and the mechanics housing?
So you probably have about 120 feet to there, because you're a little far back to where even the guards can't see you at this point. So it's 120 feet. You could probably slink most of the way in darkness with decent enough stealth. But getting close to there is a guard pretty much posted right next to it. So you'd at least have to do something about them.
Derek, how far is the ship from the door?
From the dam,
ship.
essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've got about 30 feet from the bowsprit.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So that way the doors can at least open without hitting the ship, and you've got a little bit of way where the water can kind of flood in a little bit, and it's not smacking the ship and knocking it against the back of the dry dock.
So Proximus is going to whisper, Shadow Magic 14th form, Shadow Mist, and bring in a fog cloud very subtly. I'm going to cast it at 2nd level so that I get 40 feet of fog basically around our position.
Yeah, you got it. So it's nobody even really notices. It's it's a night by the ocean. Fog happens. So this fog kind of seeps up from the ground and very deftly kind of fully encompasses your area, making it hard to see for anyone.
Well, should we do this?
You want to go together, or do you want me to go by myself?
Let's keep us together for as long as we can.
Okay, Konnery, make yourself very small. That's a little hard with the ego.
No, yes, we're doing great so far. You've made it very moist. Wonderful plan. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and change the music up a little bit. So how are you all proceeding?
I guess Scarlett will go first.
Okay. Going first, so are you heading straight towards the guard ahead of you? We can say that you all plan this so like the patrol is on the other side of the ship at this point. You've got fog kind of surrounding you. You've got a guard straight ahead, and then 120 feet to the control shack. Which way are you heading?
Control shack.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for stealth with advantage.
Uh, 19 plus 3, 21.
That'll do it. Yeah, you are like a shadow in the night, slinking along there.
I just imagine the Pink Panther theme going in my brain.
Sure. All right. Proximus, what are you doing? Konnery's going to stick with you.
I'm going to follow Scarlett, just so that I can keep her inside the fog.
Okay, all right. So 120 feet, you guys will say you can dash a couple of different actions there. You're getting up to the point where the fog is almost like touching the toes of the guard standing by the shack. So you're within an action's reach of him, and Proximus will also need a stealth roll with advantage from you if you were moving along with Scarlett.
That's a 15.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are still moving pretty quietly at this point. So what would you like to do as you're now approaching this guard?
Konnery, grapple him. Make him quiet.
And Konnery will just kind of like nod at you. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna do a grapple. Let's see how this goes. Okay. I'm gonna fight myself here real quick.
That's the master plan all along.
Yep. Konnery, do the hard work.
Confuse the GM. Make it hard.
You know what? The beautiful thing is that Konnery rolled in that 20 and the veteran only rolled a 12. So, yeah. Konnery puts a paw, like big lion's paw around this guy's mouth, kind of comes out from the fog, leaps at him. The flame kind of knocks to the ground, and you just hear this solid as the neck snaps. And he just kind of lets him down quietly. He goes, "That's the last time I'm doing that for either of you."
That was
the shack is now
brilliant
open to you.
You do it again if I say please next time.
Okay, so you are now pretty much right up next to where the drydock dam is, this gate, these doors. So they're maybe about 20 feet from you. They're wide enough that you could even walk along them to the other side. You know, think of like Gates of Mordor kind of deal. And then you have
what I was envisioning.
Yeah, it's kind of that. So you've got a lot of gears that will open them. There's a ladder that you can even climb down to get to the bottom of the dry dock. And then, like I said, you have the gatehouse there as well.
Konnery, can you get onto the ship somehow? I have my boots of feather. What is it?
Your boots of flying?
Winged boots? Yeah.
Yeah, your winged boots. Those are something you have to attune to. Yeah.
Right. No, I can get up there, but I'm just wondering if he can. Like if he has some way of...
So you would look over from your vantage point. You can see that there is like scaffolding and things that are kind of built up to get to the ship. He's like, I don't see anybody else down there. So aside from the people that are on the deck of the ship, I could certainly get up there and be as quiet as I can.
I think what you should do is try to get on board onto the deck, and I will meet you on the deck. We can handle anything on there as Scarlett takes out the...
All right, then.
The dam.
Okay. So... Okay, if that's going to be the plan. So, Scarlett, you're going to go in the gatehouse, open the doors. Proximus and Konnery going aboard the ship then. I'm going to move you all over.
I'm gonna leave the fog cloud on Scarlett. Okay. I think she needs it a little bit more.
So you all should be able to see the deck of the Redemption, and I will describe this for our audience as well, so we don't have to actually transfer the map and make this harder for Evo. So you do have at least the map that I'm providing to you. You can see that there's water as the background. Just imagine that is a dry dock instead. So this is the top deck of the Redemption. I am going to actually, you can go ahead and place your tokens where they would be. So Proximus, as you go to fly up there, let's go ahead and actually roll for initiative, just so we can kind of plan this out here. So once you land, go. Oh, we actually do have the map. All right, thanks, dear.
That's a 9 from Scarlett.
9 from Scarlett. Okay.
Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Okay. So what is it in total?
22.
22. All right. All right, and then Scarlett. Okay. Cool. So let me place. So Proximus, you'll have the point of view to kind of see this here. Let me drop some folks on here. So as far as enemies, you can see that there are. Is that gonna work? Maybe. Maybe not.
I don't see any tokens yet. Yeah.
There we go. Roll20 doesn't make anything easy. So you have one of these guards right up here on the forecastle. You have another one right back here on near the helm, and then there is one standing down here by your fancy new ballista. And then in addition, there is another figure that is dressed differently from the others, who is standing also up by the helm. This individual, so to describe a Nerian soldier again, they are in these reds and purples. Most of what they wear is red with like this purple stripe. They're wearing a medium amount of armor. Probably the lower tier might have like a breastplate, higher tier might have half plate. The individual that you see up by the helm that is not in armor is wearing the same colors. Their clothes seem a little bit baggier. They seem to have like a hood incorporated into it, but there's still the same regalia and everything that would be befit of an officer, which you all would have seen on the Zaratan that you all were captured on. And this individual is also wearing a sash that seems to have some other medals and signs of their status attached as well. And with your stealth, we can say that you can fly up wherever you would like. You can even land on the sails if you would like. And I will also toss Konnery on here. So Konnery is, you can see climbing up. He's on the side of the ship, just about right here, kind of hanging off of the loading ladder, just about right there. And he's kind of waiting for your signal.
I still don't see my I can't move my guy around. But
oh, I have not sorry, I will toss you up there. There's your fella.
Sounds good. Yeah, because I want to be sneaky about it, of course. Trying not to bring as much attention. So as I fly up, is there gosh, I think I would go to the front of the ship where that one I'll put him up here and just try to take out this smaller guy. Of course,
okay.
Everything that I have is concentration. Paladin.
So go ahead and roll for an attack if you're looking to take him out.
I am. Yeah, I'm gonna Shadow Magic First Form Early Shadow Blade and cast my Shadow Blade with my bonus action, and then I will land next to him and take 2 swipes with my Shadow Blade. At advantage because we're in the dark, yeah?
You are in the dark, yeah. These individuals do not have torches, so they will be at disadvantage for hitting you, because I don't believe any of them have dark vision.
So the first one is 21 to hit, and then the second is 15 to hit?
The 15 will hit.
Okay. That's 3. 10, 15 on the first hit, and 18 on the second. And I'll just crisscross with the Shadow Blade.
Okay, so 33 points. Let's see here. Make sure I have the right stat block here. Okay. Yeah, you pretty silently take this one out, and we'll say you're maintaining that stealth roll from before. So the slashes kind of come across, and they crumple to the ground. There is a
try
little
to catch
bit
his
of sound
body
here.
like with my extra arm, and just kind of guide him down. If you want me to roll for that, then I will.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a dexterity save.
Okay. This is where I screw myself. Oh, that's not bad. 14 plus... Like a saving throw or just plus dex?
It's a saving throw.
Okay, so 14, that's 21.
So just as the slashes kind of come across and you see like this armored metal body go to crumple, you're able to kind of slide underneath and very like deftly lower him to where it's there. It almost just sounds like footsteps at this point, like he was shifting his weight. All right, Konnery is going to sneak up and make his stealthy attacks against the other soldier here. So Konnery just has his unarmed attack. He does not have his blade on him, but that's fine. He's going to be okay. So let's get a couple attacks out of Konnery. Okay. All right. So you watch as Konnery kind of like leans over a little bit, like literally like a lion stalking its prey in the savannah, and he has his claws kind of out to the side, very, very Wolverine like, and he kind of just lunges forward towards this guy and grabs him around the middle and also the neck, and you see just kind of this twist with the claws, and just kind of holds him close and slides him to the ground. As you can see that he has snapped another guy nearly in half. So let me take care of, let me do this. Let's knock them out. Let's knock them out. Okay. So you have these two individuals right up at the top here. Nobody has necessarily noticed you yet, but I am going to have these individuals kind of make their patrol. So at this point, this guard, see, they have 30 feet of movement. I'm going to have him move back to check the back. I'm going to have this individual move down here, at which point, so let me get this actually locked. There we go. He is going to notice Konnery, and this individual is going to... so Proximus, from your point of view, he can't see you. He can absolutely see Konnery kind of through this line right here. And you can see his hands kind of form around each other. There seems to be this energy you can see even in the darkness. And he is going to blast forth this energy, which you can even feel the cold kind of coming off of it, even from where you are. So I'm going to have Konnery do a Constitution saving throw. So that is a 12 against... Okay, so Konnery is able to just dodge out of the way of this blast of cold, but he is still going to take a, let's see, 4d8 of damage. So you watch as like part of Konnery's fur gets frozen even as he's jumping out of the way, and you can see that there's almost like an instant like blackness to parts of his skin as this cold blast comes forth. And it's at this point that the individual begins to cast this spell, begins to yell for assistance. And with the rest of their movement, this guy is going to come right up there and aim his crossbow down, and he is going to fire at Konnery. He is going to miss with disadvantage in the darkness, and a crossbow bolt is going to, again, like Konnery is just barely going to be able to step out of the way as a crossbow bolt thunks into the deck of the ship. We have come to Scarlett. So Scarlett, even from where you are, you can see this blast of magical energy, and you can see that some of the other guards who have been stationed around the dry dock notice this commotion on the ship, and then you hear yelling coming from the ship, and several of the guards begin to point their crossbows at the ship. They're not necessarily moving forward, but these are crossbowmen stationed for anybody who gets aboard. They're leveling their crossbows at the ship itself. What would you like to do?
Continue heading to the mechanic's house just as fast as I possibly can.
Yeah, you're there. You made
Cool.
it. You guys knocked the guard out next to it, so yeah, you're there.
I am gonna try to open the dam.
Okay. So you make it inside. The door is unlocked. Even if it wasn't, windows are fucking open. So you make it inside. Inside is like a chair with this station of stuff you might not have seen before. It seems like Wynni stuff. There's a number of buttons, levers. There's at least 4 levers that you can see. They're kind of like you gotta, grab the lever and then pull it.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got 4 in front of you. You can roll an intelligence check, or you can just dumb luck it. I will leave it to you.
What is my intelligence? I feel like it's high enough that I can probably figure it out, so I'll do intelligence.
Okay.
The 16.
Okay. With the 16, you take a second and you kind of look over everything. You can see that the outer of the 2 are basically pushed forward. The other 2 are pushed back. And then you can see that there are actually like little labels on all of them. There's either D's or E's. And you're able to kind of figure out, okay, D stands for disengage, E stands for engage, and the E's are the ones that are pulled back. So you disengage the disengages, you engage the engages, and nothing really happens. And it's at that point that you see that there's also an ignition key. And you're just able to figure that out, turn the key, and that's when you hear all the gears start grinding against one of each other. And the doors begin to, you hear this kind of very loud, hollow clank that you can feel reverberating through your feet. And you see this lock just kind of snaps off and comes flying. And the doors begin to slowly open and water begins to push its way through. And even then you can see that the water is pushing the doors even faster than they typically would go. And water begins to flood this dry dock. We will go back to top of the order with Proximus.
I'd like to I'm gonna try to get 40 feet from where I'm at, as stealthy as possible, closer to so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 will put me right there, as stealthy as possible.
Go ahead and roll for stealth.
Oh gosh. $17?
Okay. With that, let's see. Neither of the attackers seem to notice you.
Ooh. I am going to Shadow Magic, 7th Form, Midnight Lunar Lash, and I'm going to... Oh no, I'm not close enough. Sorry, just joking. Didn't do that.
Okay.
Gosh dang it. I'm gonna firebolt him. Why not?
Okay. Who are you? Are you firebolting the mage or the soldier?
The mage.
Okay.
So 25 to hit.
Okay, that'll hit.
And
I will save you rolling damage as you go to blast this firebolt at him. You see he turns to see the flames coming at him and kind of just like wipes it away and seems to like almost pull it into himself. He has counterspelled your firebolt. Anything else for your turn? He is mage.
That's it.
Okay.
I looked shocked. Proximus looks shocked.
I'm gonna say so. He absorbs that into himself, and then you see even in the darkness this smile kind of creep across his face. He's a human who's kind of like a little bit past middle age, has this goatee which is kind of striped with gray and black in it, with this longer hair kind of swept back, and you recognize now mage's cloak mixed with like military regalia. And he seems to almost re-engage the firebolt back at you. That is a nat 20 to hit. And so you're going to take, say, what is he at? He's a 9th level spellcaster. Okay. So you are going to take 2d10. So essentially 4d10. So Proximus, you take 30 points of fire damage that he kind of redirects and blasts back at you. And it's at this point, especially with the fire and everything, the other soldier has noticed you as well. And it is now Konnery's turn. Konnery is going to see that you have engaged the mage and kind of just like nods at you like, that's your problem. And he is going to engage with the soldier. So again, he's going to take a handful of swipes at the soldier. Let's see. Okay, 2 of those are going to hit, and soldier is going to take 20 points of damage. Okay. With that, it is the veteran's turn. The veteran who has now been engaged is going to draw a sword and attack Konnery a handful of times. That's going to hit. That's not. Okay. So Konnery is going to take an extra 8 points of damage. Okay. And we're now back to Scarlett. So Scarlett, you have opened the dam. You have also seen from afar like firebolts being lodged at people. Even in the darkness, you can't necessarily tell who's who, especially because you're like, oh, I knew Proximus could, but apparently somebody else can. Probably not Konnery. So again, we have a number of guards who are firing crossbow bolts. None of them have hit. They've all been at disadvantage, and nothing has been successful enough to hit anybody. What would you like to do as the dry dock is now flooding?
The ship is not connected to anything. There's no disconnect points, is there?
There are, you can see 6 ropes that are tying it down. Thank you for asking that question, because I had not addressed that before. There are 6 ropes which are kind of tying it off. You can imagine they'd probably snap if you had enough force coming from the ship, but also they might snap off some of your new fancy ship.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's 6 on one, or 3 on one side, 3 on the other. And you will have, just to estimate, 3 turns before the dry dock has flooded completely to a point where you would be able to sail successfully out.
Can I Eldritch Blast the ropes?
You can.
Okay. Obviously, 1 beam for 2 ropes currently per turn.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully enough ropes, enough turns. Math is hard. 14 and 12.
Yeah, rope has 2 hit points, can be burst with a DC 17 strength check. Rope doesn't even have an AC. You hit the rope. Yeah.
I mean, I was figuring anything over 10 was probably a good shot.
Honestly, yeah, no, that's a smart use of Eldritch Blast too. So I love that. Yeah, you were able to. How many Eldritch Blast beams do you have?
2.
2. Okay, so yeah, You snap 2 of them very easily. Anything else to your turn?
I'm gonna still. I'm gonna start making my way towards the ship, but very sneaky like, so the crossbowmen do not notice me.
Okay. Roll for stealth with disadvantage because you did just fire off 2 Eldritch Blasts. You do have fog and everything, but we'll
Literally
call it a
just
flat roll.
giant beacons.
Yeah, we'll call it a flat roll. They still can't hit you.
13.
13? Okay. All right. Anything else for your turn?
Nope. Just gonna try to
Okay.
move as close to the ship as possible.
So still within the fog, you were able to make it to the edge of the dry dock, and you could easily jump down. There's probably not enough water where it would be safe to dive where you
I'm
are.
also the siren, so if there is more water later on, it's fine. I'll figure it out.
Exactly. In like a turn or 2, you will have enough water to dive, but it's like this is kiddie pool where you are, and you will absolutely be that little icon of the person hitting their head on the bottom of the pool. Okay. We're back to the top of the order with Proximus.
Proximus is going to move to the mage.
Mhm.
With his shadow blade. He would like to make 2 swipes.
Okay.
And what is 30-20 to hit.
Okay.
I love advantage on. Good. I'm so glad it's dark. And 22, and I will do my last 2 level, 2nd level, and smite with that. Divine smite, unholy smite.
Go for it.
Unholy night. I think the time is right. 13.
Okay.
13, 14, 15, 16, 21, 28, 32 on the first one.
Okay.
And then 4.
Is it over 8?
4, 7. The second one, yes, it is 7, 12, and 22
Okay.
of psychic damage.
As you go to slice down at this individual, you can see they go to cast shield, and the first blade goes right through the shield and cuts right through them. Why don't you describe to me how you take out this mage?
So as I bring the first swipe down from my shadow blade, the shield goes up. It flows through. The shadow flows through the actual shield into his shoulder blade, and as I bring it out, I thrust my sword to his chest, grabbing the back of his neck and pulling him closer.
Okay, yeah, you've finished this guy. So you have this Imperial mage that seemed to have some sort of commanding title to him, and you've cut right through this guy.
Try to block that. Counter strike this one, huh?
Proximus is just mocking a corpse now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am going to workshop this one. It's fine.
Anything else for your turn?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Actually, I have about 10 more. I'd like to use the rest of my movement to get on the top deck.
Yeah.
So that's about there. And then, yeah, I'm good.
Cool. Okay. Well, the mage isn't going to turn anymore. Konnery is going to take a couple more swipes. So let's get a couple attacks on those. Okay. Konnery now, again unarmed, is going to take a couple of swipes at this this armored individual. This is a little more heavily armored than the previous guards that you engaged with. This individual also seems to be some sort of a commander. What level, you're not really sure. But their armor looks nicer, their weapons look nicer. And with their longsword, they're able to keep Konnery kind of at a distance. So as Konnery takes a couple of swipes, they dodge out of the way and kind of are using their sword to even like knock Konnery's paws out of the way. So Konnery's attacks miss, unfortunately. And then the armored individual is going to take a couple of attacks against Konnery. One of those is going to land. So Konnery is going to take an extra 8 points of damage. So this longsword comes slashing down at Konnery and kind of comes across his chest, cutting even through the buccaneer type clothing that he's wearing. And you can see Konnery's taking a couple of swipes at this point with some blood kind of draining from several wounds on his arms and chest. With that, Scarlett, we're back to you.
Eldritch blast the ropes.
Okay. 2 more ropes.
2 more ropes. On the dice, both 18s.
Yep. 2 more ropes gone. Okay. 2 more
And
ropes to go.
close. Oh no, I don't need to move closer because I'm at the edge. So I'll just
You are at
hang
the
out.
edge. Yeah, the water line has gotten just about to diving point now. Again, 1 more turn, and the ship is probably good enough to go. The doors are almost completely open. They're maybe at like the right angle point. Once they hit just a little bit more, you've got safe sailing. Proximus, back to you. You're muted, bud.
Hello, I am muted at this time. I will move the 25 feet to flank this warrior, and I will take 2 swipes from my shadow blade on his backside. It's 24? 26, sorry. And a nat 20. Ooh, I love advantage on this thing. God, crit fishing, baby. All right, so on the nat 20, I'm going to use first level Unholy Smite. And I am going to... Oh, that's 12, 13... It's just 2d8. So 13, 23 times 2. 36. Yeah? No? What is it? I know math. It's fine.
46.
It's fine.
You got it.
46. Gosh.
Yeah. I was muted
too. And then the second swipe is 7, 5, and 19.
Okay. Yeah, Proximus, why don't you tell me how you take this guy out?
I'm gonna slide the blade across his back. The Unholy Smite. Thank you, Sammy. It goes back through, and then the blade comes through. I make sure it gets very close as I can to Konnery, and I pop up from behind the guy. Do I have to do everything myself?
I had that.
And then I'm going to throw him to the ground. We need to get the sails up. Let's go.
Then get them up. And Konnery's going to go running. He's like, unload the gallants. The gallants. He's like,
what is a gallant?
He just undo that rope.
Sounds good. He just goes and grabs it and tries to unwind it. The shadow blade just dissipates as he runs to go grab it.
We're gonna say that now that you are like the doors are open, the water is coming in, the guards can literally like see the sails coming down. They are going to fire a volley of crossbow bolts at you. So there were 8 guards around. You took out number 9 plus the 10. So Proximus, you were going to take 3 hits since you have such a high AC. But 3 of these are going to land, so you're going to take 18 points of piercing damage as kind of these crossbow bolts just come flying at the ship. A lot of them land in the wood. 18.
18?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And Scarlett, we are just about to you then. So the water has gotten up to the point. The doors are open. There are 2 ropes left.
I'm gonna
The
try
ship
to
is
get rid
ready
of
to
the
go,
ropes.
Okay.
Even though, in logic, I should take care of the people who are shooting arrows. But the ship is more important. Natural 20 and a 13.
Yeah, done. So the ship is now completely unmoored. The doors have opened. The water line has gotten to where it needs to be. Scarlett, what would you like to do?
I'm diving in the water.
You got it. All right, into the water you go. We're still going to try to maintain some level of order here. So we'll be back to the top of the order with Proximus. So you've got some of the ropes undone, and the sails have begun to unfurl. Konnery has taken his place at the helm, and the ship has begun to lunge forward a little bit as this dark wind seems to fill it. Thanks to Scarlett, you have ever full sails that do not need wind to move them forward, so you automatically begin to move forward as soon as they're unfurled. Little hair blip. Okay, Proximus, anything you're doing special?
I'm going to. What is this thing on the back here? Is that a? Can I shoot that at somebody?
Yeah, technically.
Or people, or
to lay out what you have on your top deck here, you have 2 arcane ballistas that can fire magical bolts of different types of energy. You have a mundane mangonel, which is a type of catapult. So absolutely, you can load and fire your mangonel. It does take an action to load and aim, and an action to fire. Just as a heads up, it's meant for like teams of people working together.
So was some of the water like flooding the area that the 10 were in? Were they down below where the?
No, they were up along. They were like marching
up along the side.
Yeah. So they're all kind of like aiming around at you.
I want to load and aim it at the concentration of the most of the guards together.
Okay.
And I want to take out, this next turn I would shoot it at that to take out the actual wall around them. Just try to disperse them as much as possible.
Okay.
Proximus is dumb, but he has battle IQ.
All right, so Proximus, you take your action to load and aim. It is Konnery's turn. Konnery is focusing on sailing the ship. The veterans are going to take another volley at you all. Let's see. Okay, 3 more are going to land at Proximus. So Proximus, you are going to take. Let me see here. Another 18 points of piercing damage. And Konnery is going to take a couple as well. So Connery's going to take.
So as I get littered with 3 more arrows, I go down.
Okay.
Drop to my knees.
Okay. The nice thing is now you have essentially full cover, so no more crossbow bolts. Is a silver lining. Okay, so with that then, Scarlett, we can say that you in an action are able to swim to the ship. There is a ladder to climb it. So you make it onto the ship. Let's get you up on there. So why are you facing that way?
It's fine.
So you make it onto the ship to see Konnery's kind of looking down at you like, Blue Boy's taking a nap if you want to save him from death or something. I'm currently busy. And Scarlett, you look around to see that there are like corpses of guards here and there on your nice new ship. Yeah, you can't necessarily see Proximus from your point of view, but Konnery does point to where he is behind him. And the ship is lurching forward out into the harbor of the dry dock.
Look at Konnery and just, you think I have healing? I do the opposite, Konnery.
Bandages or something? We have a mid-bay for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Constance isn't here. Play Constance. You know where it is.
My instinct was just like, I'm gonna pass on what my instincts are telling me. Truth and thoughts are not winning today. I will go to Proxy and try to stabilize as best I can.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and pause there. We'll say that you are able to. Proximus, give me a death save because it's gonna take Scarlett.
Well, I was gonna ask you. So, like, I know it was 18 total damage, but what was the last bolt that hit me? Was it, or do you want me to
It was
roll?
six points.
I have a feat called Strength of the Grave, where I roll a charisma saving throw against the damage. 5
Okay.
plus
The last bolt was 6 points of damage.
So it would be 11. 5 plus that. So
Okay, well that's a success.
I'll just roll that. Is it a charisma? Is that what they said? Sorry.
You're good.
Because I have like a plus 14 charisma saving throw. What the hell?
Your aura.
Yeah. Whoa, plus 14. So 24.
Okay, yeah. So Proximus, while Scarlett is going to fetch your healing potion or bandages or something, you do just kind of pop back.
Oh great, you don't need me anymore. Perfect.
Yeah, Konnery just kind of like stomps on the deck, trying to get Scarlett's attention. He's fine.
All right.
All right, folks. That's where we're going to take our
clowns.
break. We're going to take our break.
Do y'all miss really bitchy Scarlett yet, or do you want the more meme one? Let's be real. There are two sides of the coin. You don't know which one you really wanted.
Two sides to the coin. Both are bad. Okay. Thank you all. Hang out. Do the things. We will be back in just about 10 minutes. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you again soon. Hello. Welcome back. Avast and yo-ho and other nautical things. Welcome back to Horizon's Call. I am Derek Sword, your GM. I'm joined by these lovely people. They have done some amazing things so far just in this game. Let's get back to it. So we will cut away from Proximus, who has just come back from near death. Scarlett, who has made it aboard the newly refurbished Redemption, and Konnery at the helm. And we will pick up back with Wynni and Acacia, as you all have found yourselves in front of, again, the 5 keel boats, which hopefully will lead to the salvation of the people of Korra as they go to escape. What would you all like to do?
I think the first question is during the entire, while Wynni was doing healing, I was going out and getting, my stuff and going with Darius. How many of the crew have we run into?
So Wynni would probably be a better judge of that. And Wynni, we can say that you have gathered up at least, so you hired 15 individuals. You gathered up at least 10 individuals that you had hired before. Between you and Acacia, you have gathered up the majority of your old crew members who seem to have not been at the trial necessarily, and seem to have kind of gathered along with Konnery in the escape. So you have all the individuals who were staying around before, and then 10 of the new ones. The others might show up. They might not. The crew does seem to be congregating together, and kind of based off of Wynni's actions and your actions, Acacia. They've been trying to help people where they can. None of them seem particularly injured in any serious way. Some of them do have some cuts and bruises. I will say one of them does have a wound to their shoulder that they've kind of bandaged up, but they are all kind of moving around to the point where they seem to be helping. So you have essentially a full crew. Like max capacity, no, but enough to sail the Redemption in the deep seas, yes.
Okay, how are we getting to the ship? I personally don't think it's appropriate for us to take, then I nod my head at the boats that are supposed to head towards the ships that, the survivors are heading towards.
Oh, no.
I don't feel comfortable taking those. Those should go to Korra citizens.
I'm sorry, did you say that we could see the Redemption's freedom?
No, you would not be aware that the
That's
Redemption is broken free.
Okay, because it's on the other side of this little,
Yeah,
hook,
you're a couple miles away from the dry docks at this point. Actually, probably about 10 miles away.
10?
Yes.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, because this was a hidden alcove where these ships were. This was like a Helm's Deep sort of situation. So you are a decent way from the city, and the dry docks were a little bit closer.
Well, I mean, we have the psychic link, right? Right?
I can reach out to. Well, I didn't give it to you. Just a heads up, Eva.
Right. Sorry, I meant that in
Yeah. But the royal we. I can reach out to Scarlett and Proximus at any point, but them having a boat for us to get onto the ship won't help. It's more so to see if they've gotten the ship out of dry docks.
Well, as long as they don't leave without us, I mean, we can, worst case, swim out to the ship. But it's a matter of figuring out where to meet, if there's a blockade. We do have to get the crew to the ship. The ship has launches. They could come to us.
I'll hold up my hand to tell you to pause. Scarlett, Proximus, how are you at in getting the ship out of dry docks? And then I'll let you decide where they're at in this process, Derek.
Is there just a lot of screaming on the other end?
Please hold. Yeah, when you talk to Proximus, you get this static for a little bit, and then this kind of him coming back to life. Scarlett, you've just gotten aboard, so you may communicate that you've gotten the ship out of dry docks.
I'm hearing voices of Acacia. What is
my Proximus, you're okay.
Oh.
Are you okay? Did Proximus die again?
No, maybe a little. He maybe just passed out a little bit. That's fine. It's fine. We have the ship.
I look at when Proximus died again. He's fine.
I can't remember. Is Constance a therapist? Just checking.
That's a question to ask her next time we see her.
100%
okay,
accurate.
So, are you able to get to roughly our location? How is the situation over there in terms of the assholes?
Well, we have killed a lot of people.
Okay, then I'm not worried about that. That's fine.
And we have Konnery, who can, I think, sail the ship. And we've got full sails. You're welcome.
Perfect.
I think we could make it.
Question mark, question mark.
Question mark.
Are you just saying question mark to Wynni because...
No, this is internal.
Yeah, Scarlett, if you would like, there is a spyglass that you could be provided if you would like to look out to sea and see if there is anything as far as a blockade or other ships goes.
Yes, please.
Okay, then roll for perception with advantage. Also, just throwing this out there as a side note, spyglasses cost 10,000 gold pieces. D&D, really?
It's
No.
so
What?
expensive. I thought it was 1,000. 1,000.
Is it
It's
1,000?
something
It's something
obscene.
ridiculous.
It
25.
has several zeros.
Yeah.
Concave glass and all
It's
that.
just ground glass. It's just ground
25.
Okay. So Scarlett, you can see that there is a blockade, which is mostly around Korra itself. You go to look towards Korra, massive just blaze. The ships even in the harbor are ablaze as well. There are Imperial ships further out that seem to have set up a blockade. They don't seem overly concerned about the dry docks, which they thought they had decently manned. And looking towards the... Let me pull up my map here. Because you all will be heading... Look here on the other map. I guess kind of southwest is where you're heading, to the alcove. There don't seem to be really any ships at all. You can note that there are lanterns and things alight on the Imperial ships, but you don't see any form of anything moving in the night out in the distance towards where you're heading. So it looks to be clear sailing. Probably another indicator of why the launches are so far away from Korra.
I'm going to relay literally all of that.
You got it.
So you might be able to get to us, pick us up, and the crew, or else, because there's 3-4 of you on ship right now?
There's three of us.
Yeah, that's not gonna fly in terms of manning a ship.
No.
So we've got
Especially since one of them is proxy and the only counts as really half of a sailor.
Yeah. So
I could
basically,
swim there faster. I'm sure.
I should note, in addition to the crew that is gathered at the launches, you do also have the officers. So
cool.
Honey is there, Sammy is there, if you did want to have somebody fly to the ship ahead of time. Trosho is there, and Constance,
Okay, I was gonna say, has anyone seen Constance?
who is absolutely reading Psychology for Dummies.
Okay, perfect.
He is flipping through the DSM and just every now and then looks up from a page and just nods at everyone, and then flips to another page.
Makes
Oh, this
bookmarks
makes
and
sense.
notes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's working out a rotating schedule for all of us.
She's like, oh, this is a new one. Okay, yeah.
I look at Winnie.
Proxies page. Yeah.
Do you want to have Sammy fly out to the ship so they have an extra pair of hands to maneuver it here quicker?
Hey, quick question about Aarakocra. Do they have dark vision?
They do not. Them's birds.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, wait. Wait. Hey, Sammy?
Yes?
How do you feel about night flying?
Uncomfortable? Why?
That seems fair. Just wondering about you flying out to the ship.
Uh-huh.
And wait, why does Sammy have to go? Oh, helping sail the ship over here.
There's 2 people on the ship right now trying
Yeah.
to get it over here.
3 technically, but one of them's kind of basically dead.
One's Proximus and he died again. It's fine.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Aye. And he kind of just lets his wings, these albatross wings, expand, and Sammy flaps up into the night. And
Sammy?
oh, sorry. Yes. Just kind of
Winnie-
hovering.
Yeah, Winnie's going to reach out and just gently touch his wing. This might help. And she's going to impart dark vision, which will at least give him some bit of a buffer so he doesn't hit a tree.
Holy shit! This is what you all can see all the time?
Only at night, or only in the dark.
Blings, waves his hand in front of him.
Mm-hmm. It
You're
helps.
like an owl.
I don't know. I've never been an owl before.
All right, yeah. The quicker you get there, the quicker they get here, and the quicker we can run.
Right. And Sammy goes flying off into the night.
Okay. Can I look back at the because I'm assuming we're near refugees still, right?
Oh,
well?
yeah, surrounded by them.
What are they doing?
A lot of them are moving towards the boats. There are some of the more knowledgeable individuals who are trying to take a look at the ships to see if they are seaworthy at all. Taking a look at the sails. A lot of people are boarding and kind of getting ready for the launch. You know, some people are still trying to heal themselves. You do actually look over. You see that Stargazer Nev is there as well, and she is actually casting mass cure wounds on people and getting a lot of people back up to full sailing strength.
Am I in that?
You can be. Sure. Let me go ahead
Can
and
I have some hit points as a treat?
let me go ahead and roll for that.
I'm still only 34 out of 94.
All right.
No. I rolled max on the health potion I rolled.
Where is your
So if you want to
perception?
give me a health potion, I will drink it. Okay, I will roll my 2d4 plus 2 for
Okay.
you. I rolled a 5 for that, but still look like trash. Oh, is that 3? Okay, so I'll roll 2 more. Hold on. All right, I'm 46 out of 94. I'm roughly
there-
halfway.
If you're in the Stargazer Nev, or you'll get an extra 20.
I'll take it.
Yes.
Thank you.
She
Okay, I'm
is
better.
She's an archdruid. She could probably hand y'all's asses to yourselves.
Love her. She's the
Yeah.
best.
CR12. Okay. So
Wynni.
yes.
Wait, hold on. Wynni. I look at Wynni, myself, and I think Trosho, because Trosho is the fish guy, right?
Little Lakatha. Yeah.
So Lakatha. Does he know how to fight? Do I know if he knows how to fight?
They
Handle himself?
You've never seen Trosho in a fight. But I will say this. A Lokatha is a little unwieldy on land. I mean, they got big flipper feet. Trosho is armed. You assume they know how to fight. You assume, like, lethal in water, but can probably handle themselves on land.
Okay. I look
Like
at
if a
Wynni.
halfling was wearing flippers all the time.
Oh. I look at Wynni and Trosho then. How are we getting out there? If we're gonna swim and not take the boats to get to the redemption, we should see if the waters are clear. Because there were a lot of were sharks and a lot of Sahuagin.
think I'm unmuted. I think maybe waiting for the boats is the best plan. Like, I don't...
And we'll just wait for the rowboats to come out?
I mean, I think moving as a group through the water, like, we could peek and see how the waters are. It's probably good to know if they're clear or not, but I don't think, like, depending on that as a non-boated avenue of...
Travel.
Yeah, is
Okay.
maybe the best.
Non-boated avenue. Mm-hmm.
I will
Mhm.
take your word for it. You know the water better than I do. Okay. I guess we'll wait.
Does that mean I'm scouting it?
I can scout with you. I just want to make sure we're not going to get capsized if we do have a boat, or if we have to swim, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Like, if you don't want to go, I'll go.
No, I'll go. Going by myself was kind of intimidating, but if you're coming with me, I feel a lot better about it. And here, you should have this.
What is it?
Not everything is seaweed.
I know, but I would like to know what it is before.
It's practically speaking, it's guidance. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like it's a little clamshell of like pinkish water.
That's cute.
That smells like roses.
good luck charm?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Acacia, you were going out to sea?
I'm going out to sea with Wynni.
Going out to sea. Okay.
To scout.
Are you doing so stealthily?
I am.
Yeah.
Like the way you said, I am.
Absolutely.
Stealth with advantage, if you would like, because it is nighttime.
Perfect.
Me too. Get advantage.
Yes. Yep. Nighttime. Dark. Hard to see and see.
A 30.
Jesus.
I rolled a 17 die.
You know what? Even the nice thing is, I average whenever you do this as a group, so a 30 tends to help whatever that face is.
I'm going to use one of my rerolls.
I have to know what you got.
Double ones,
Wow.
which put me at 6. So
You would have gotten a 15. Like, somehow you still would have averaged out to a 15.
That would have been an 18. It's not bad.
and that was a nat 20. I can't. So 21.
21.
Look,
Okay.
I'm worried about what's in the water, so I wanted to not be, like, belly flopping in.
What if,
Okay.
though?
So you all go into the surf, and kind of a lot of the ships watch as you do, waiting to actually hit their launches to let the ships go sliding forward. The waters are very dark. As you kind of pass through the tide and hit the drop off, hooves still touching sandy ground, and Wynni kind of swimming along with your webbed fingers, your gills activating. It's really hard to see. Even with your dark vision, it is hard to see through the murky water. You hit through some seaweed, and it seems like there's not a lot of fish active at night. In fact, Wynni would know nighttime is for predators. And it is, I'll have you roll. You guys do have dark vision, so go ahead and roll me for perception, please.
That is a crit
Okay.
for a 31.
Okay, geez.
Winnie had an 8, so.
Okay. Acacia, you would probably spot this first, maybe even put a hand in front of Wynni to stop, as this rather large shape moving through the water at a distance, to be fair, and doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. But there is this large shape that you come to see is a giant shark, that very much like the blink sharks you saw before is wearing this armor around it, and riding alongside of it, holding on to one of the sides, is a Sahuagin carrying one of their jagged kind of bident spears, the two pointed spears. Acacia, I'm going to say that with a stealth roll as high as yours, you were able to notice that, you're able to stop up just enough with gauze the blood from your wounds and Wynni's wounds, to where when this shark almost seems to notice it, the Sahuagin kind of smacks it in the side of the head and makes it redirect, because it's not paying attention to what they're doing. But this very clearly is a patrol around this portion of the island.
Okay. I am going to watch it and kind of I didn't actually link with Wynni, so I'm just kind of motioning for you to go back, and I'm gonna just see if I can watch how long the patrol takes, if they come back, or can we get through a boat when they're not here, and will there be enough time?
Mm-hmm. So you're willing to give it 10 minutes ish?
Yeah. I motion for Wynni to go back. Whether she goes back, it's up to her. But I'm gonna give it 10 minutes or something like that.
So 10 minutes pass, which seems like an eternity underwater. Even harder to tell time. In case you have a really good kind of internal sense. in that time, it does not seem to come back to it with your line of sight. So maybe its range is larger than just this path. You have to assume.
All right. Then I'll with motion for Wynni to let's head back.
Wynni will follow.
She might have dropped back a little bit, like the first time you motioned, but not a lot. And would have just kind of kept a lookout.
So oh great. They have patrols this far out as well.
It makes sense.
It does. I'm gonna go tell some of the Quarians so they're at least aware.
Yeah.
If you want to go talk to the rest of the crew,
I will.
Also, and I'll let Scarlett and Proximus know to keep an eye out for underwater predators. And I'll relay that to those parties.
Okay. All right. So Scarlett, Proximus, you all now know that there are giant sharks in Sahuagin who are patrolling the waters. So you kind of get the idea. Not a ton of ships, but definitely because they've combined forces, a combination of actions here. You all are still sailing towards the launches? Anything you would like to do while you were doing that? Okay.
Nothing's coming to my brain.
Fair enough. It's, decent amount of time goes past, 20, 25 minutes, before a figure does land on the deck of the ship, and you all see Sammy there, a bit out of breath from flapping his wings as much as he has, but, Bosun's here to help. Nice, looks nice, aside from the corpses. Are those new? Everything's new, very nice, yes. And Sammy is going to go to his bosun duties and begin to unfurl a few more of the sails and get the ship to full wind. And you all are making good headway. It's going to be maybe another 10 minutes before you all reach the launches. Cut back to Acacia and Wynni. The launches are almost full. There's still about 30 people, plus your crew, who aren't able to fit. And the keel boats are packed at this point. I mean, keel boats are not made for a lot of people to begin with. You imagine you could probably fit the rest on the Redemption, but it would be a full boat at that point, like people sleeping on the deck kind of full boat. But you could probably get everybody. The other thing you notice about the keel boats is they are unarmed. The ballista, which is typically attached to them, has been removed to allow for more people. So hopefully the Redemption would be an escort to them.
Mm-hmm.
So the ballista wasn't removed, like, right now. It was removed a while ago.
You can tell that there's been a space for it, but these are, like, evacuation boats.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, somebody removed it a long time ago.
Okay. And there's no plan to bring the keel boats back for more people? Or no time?
Well, it depends on where you're going. Bringing the keel boats back for more people, where are you going to drop off the people you have?
At the evacuation... Wait, are the keel boats the evacuation boats?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, we should probably take the rest. We can't leave anyone behind. So...
Yeah. Either that or they go back with the centaurs. I'm sure the centaurs will not completely say no, considering what happened.
Well, we can let everyone make their own choices, but, we can ask for volunteers to go on the Redemption. I mean, it's safer, really.
At least to get them to, like, shackle break or something.
Yeah. So I don't know if we want to ask,
those most wounded, or the elderly, or the youngest, or whatever, but those who might do better not on the keel boats.
There's not much we can do except start asking and seeing who's already not on the boats and who still needs to go. My guess is they probably already put a lot of the young and the older and the injured on the boats already, so
Let's I think Wynni will probably round up the officers, the remaining officers,
Mm-hmm.
and have them kind of split the difference so that everyone is hitting the keel boats at the same time to make this offer of people who want to go on the Redemption instead and make room for other people on the keel boats.
Yeah.
Volunteers are probably going to be better anyway than...
Between the
Forcing it.
officers, and we'll say Darius and Curio as well, you were able to gather mostly what are fit individuals, men and women of, full adulthood, no children, no elderly or particularly injured. You will have the Hand who are coming with you, several members of the Eve Walkers who were actually in their regalia.
the
You'll
Hand
also
are coming.
The Hand will be aboard the Redemption. They gave up their spots for on the keel boats.
That's fine, but also not fine.
The
It's
inclination to
fine.
pickpocket is so strong.
Fucking do it. I won't stop you.
And yeah, it's mostly able-bodied individuals in addition to your sailors. So you have 30 people. Of those will include Darius, Curio, 5 members of the Hand, several Eve Walkers, and then a few more citizens of Korra who are also able-bodied.
Okay. Hey, we got a full load coming onto the. This is to Scarlett and Proximus. We've got a full load coming onto the ship. Not everyone can fit on the keel boats. Sorry, this is an executive decision by myself and Wynni and the other officers.
And I'm going to make a
Would not
character
have
decision.
argued with that at all.
Sorry, I'm going to make a character decision for Buck. If Panda comes back and says this is not what Buck would do, we will absolutely wreck on this. But I'm going to say Buck does decide to stay back with the other centaurs and defend Soteria.
Okay.
I have lots of things to blow up.
Exactly.
It's hard to blow up things in the ocean.
It does feel like a Buck thing to do, to be fair.
Please don't blow up my ship.
No, I will not go under so many booms. I have made good booms for your ship, though.
And we appreciate it.
Oh, Buck.
Okay. So a little bit of time goes past to where the Redemption, those of you aboard, can see where the launches are going to be. Kind of the psychic link has connected.
Could I have used this time to cast Cure Wounds 4 times?
You sure can, yeah. There's 4 actions where the Cure Wounds.
Over the course of 30 seconds.
You can also probably... So I will say the Redemption was also restocked. I mean, it was restocked with food for Honey. It was restocked with stuff for Constance. That was part of the massive amount of gold that you all paid for everything. So you can also raid the surgeon's office if you would like the med bay.
I'll just use up all my magic. It's fine.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Quick question. In the 10 minutes, while they were underwater, aside from guarding Acacia's back, would Wynni have been able to identify what kind of shark that Sahuagin had?
I mean, you didn't see it as well as Acacia did. Still, go ahead and roll nature.
23.
Okay. Stat block wise, it is a giant shark.
It large.
So this is a huge beast. This is like a storm giant sized shark. So like megalodon. It was a megalodon basically.
Does Wynni know if they're smart or not?
What is their intelligence? No. In the sense that this thing seems to be domesticated towards, to a certain level, that it was wearing armor, that it was not eating the Sahuagin riding with it. The Sahuagin seemed to have some sort of control and redirecting it. There's that level of domestication, but in the sense that you could oh, cheerio, cheerio to you, yes. Not as much.
Sharks, canonically British.
How's the Empire?
Final question. And Wynni, are they beasts? Big.
They are beasts.
Oh, okay.
Big beasts.
Big. Okay.
Okay. What y'all doing?
How close are y'all? And I say Scarlett and Proximus, because there's no way I'd be able to see within the 60 feet of dark vision if they're
Correct.
close or not.
You would probably, since it's nighttime, I mean, you got stars and everything, but it is like a sliver of a moon. There's not a lot of light coming from that. So if anything, you're getting, maybe if you have a spyglass, you could maybe make out the sails. But yeah, the ship itself is rather dark.
I bet Trosho has a spyglass.
Trosho might. Speaking of, what are your sails colored as? It's a weird
Redemption.
sentence.
It's a good question.
We'll come back to that. Okay. I will,
Yep.
Look at Kayla's face. I will.
I feel like that requires some back chat between everyone. This is not
fair.
a singular
Okay.
decision.
Okay.
It's like Sleeping Beauty's dress. We just keep changing the color.
Hey, apparently white is a color of redemption, so it could be white.
Ugh. Yeah. Overdone.
It's also the color
wanna-
of surrender.
I didn't-
don't
I
think we
didn't
want to
ask.
give
It's
the wrong
also the
impression.
color of surrender.
But also black is too much like, I'm a pirate.
It is.
Yeah,
lavender it is.
Yeah.
I'm fine with lavender.
Like a soft
Let's do it.
periwinkle. Yeah.
I can do
Like-
it.
like-
Or you know what? Let's go like neon orange.
The
It's
sky
fine.
just past
Ooh.
sunset.
Super
Just go
bright.
like caution.
Or the sky at sunset, I guess. Okay.
I still
Any-
vote white because it's inconspicuous.
There's also that.
Is it?
If everyone else
It's
has
gonna-
white sails,
Oh.
absolutely.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought you meant like right now in the dead of night when like it would
No.
pick up any light. But yeah, okay.
It's like when
No.
someone says they were driving a Honda Civic. Yeah. And
Yes.
everybody else.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
Anyway,
I'm gonna make this easy for everyone. The sails are glamored. We can change them.
Oh.
I'm taking
Look at
extra
Derek's
like
face.
5,000 out of your pool of gold. Yeah, you're gonna glamour
much.
weave your sails. Yeah, okay. Let me do some math on how much that's gonna fucking cost.
Do I have any more warrants out for my arrest? Can I
Listen.
turn myself in and then prison break out
It's
again?
not a bad idea though. Like
Okay,
It's not.
but
It's
listen,
not.
We just keep collecting bounties on ourselves.
That ship went through so much. She deserves to be bougie.
she does.
I mean,
It's
true. Very true. Very true.
Treat her.
Anyway, to Acacia's question, you all are basically right at the exit point for the launches. So again, it's kind of this like stone natural cove that's been created with this the stone outcropping. But you can see from like your vantage point where like the 5 ships are lined up with their launches.
Okay. So it's just waiting and then getting the boats, and then we head over to the ship is what it sounds like, question mark?
I have a last shark question.
Oh no.
I have a shark answer.
Exclamation point shark in chat. The little suits that the sharks were wearing before,
The little suits, the armor.
they're little yeah, shark armor.
Okay.
Shark mark. No, I'm gonna work on that. Was it just like a saddle strapped on, or are they like cyber sharks?
Eva.
Are they like cyber sharks?
She's an
It
alchemist.
is-
She's basically steampunk. It's a legitimate question.
So the armor that they had, it's technically called barding, is mostly like studded leather from what you saw last time.
So it's like
'cause
horse
it's supposed to be a lot like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and what you've seen is that, because metal in water, especially salt water, doesn't do too great, most of it was leather.
Cool.
So a lot of what you saw, there's kind of something that comes down the nose. There are protectors for the eyes. The gills are left open, but also there are kind of like slats to protect the gills. And then...
So it's not like a control device, it's just armor.
It's armor to protect the shark. Yeah. It's not like these are blinders. This is all just like, let's protect the weak spots of these two things.
Okay.
Nom-noms.
Nom.
And yes, sharks are beautiful natural creatures that have their place in nature and should not be necessarily feared. But also, for the sake of this game, a fucking giant shark is scary.
Yeah, I don't like storm giant sized as a descriptor.
No.
That was...
could swallow a bus.
Don't like that.
No, I hate that. But yes, are we doing anything other than waiting for the ship to get here, for them to throw out the longboats for us, and then ferry ourselves over to the ship so we can eat?
I think Wynni would have had a discussion with you at some point about finding anyone headed to the Redemption that is aquatic, and specifically telling them about the underwater dangers so that they can kind of keep an eye out.
So do we want to
well.
scout ahead again when they get here?
I figured we would, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't... Wynni would know this at this point, but what's your swim speed?
I think it's 30. I think it's actually less than my...
Okay. Mine's also 30, but... And we would have, figured that out.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure it's 30. It's less than my move speed.
Well, yeah, you and Proximus are both, ridiculous.
Gotta go fast.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I think just preparing everyone. But yeah, specifically the aqueous type
Aquans.
people. And on the keel boats too. Just, I know we had already warned them, but those races specifically.
Okay. All right. So Trosho will stand with the two of you as they are an aquan individual.
I love
that. Constance and Honey are waiting for the rowboats. Those rest of the crew, yeah. So the keel boats go to launch, and all 5 of them go sliding down these ramps towards the water, hitting the water almost synchronously. And sails unfurl. There are a number of people who are working the row, the oars, as best they can. But again, there's a number of injured individuals, as well as children and elderly aboard as well. So it is not at full capacity. So the ships are a bit staggered as they head out towards the Redemption. Who is getting in one of the rowboats to row ashore?
Can I add real quick that we also probably would have, or at least Wynni would have, kind of had a boarding order to streamline boarding for when the rowboats do get to shore, between the new crew and the Corians?
Corians, yeah.
Just to make sure everyone kind of has a spot already designated, so that there's not a lot of ricketa-racketa.
Sure. So there are 4 launches that you have, 4 rowboats. There are 2 already on the top deck between Proximus and Konnery. We'll say that you'll be able to get the other 2 up to the top deck as well from the hold. So Sammy volunteers to row one of. I guess you're all going to be rowing one of them, since there's only 4 people aboard.
If I can get over there, I would offer to row one as well if they can get it down into the water. Like,
Okay.
I know I'm a hurt horse, but I do have a way I can get into the boat without.
You can kneel and
capsizing it.
row. Yeah. Don't worry.
have
Brain
to
did the
see
same thing.
this.
You know what? Or I fucking push it.
Okay.
Uh,
That's actually probably easier. I'm probably gonna push the boat.
Okay. Yeah, Sammy also has the idea that they can row over and then fly back, leaving an extra spot. So between Proximus, Wynni, Scarlett, who's rowing elsewise.
Proximus would roll.
Okay.
He would roll.
yeah, if Wynni could get out to the ship also, like, Wynni would help row, then swim back.
Not very strong, but can help.
Can't help is good.
If we can at least get one boat over to the other side and bring some people back that can
Yeah.
help row the others, that's really the big thing. So
Yeah.
as long as we get one boat over there to start, we will be fine.
This isn't a chicken grain fox problem. All we need are people in the boat that can go back and forth.
Exactly.
Okay. For those of you rowing, give me a athletics roll, please.
Am I
All of us?
rowing?
You
am I
are rowing.
Rolling technically?
Rolling and rowing.
I will roll.
12.
What?
Hey,
which
that's
one
a
was it?
dirty 20.
Heck yeah!
Athletics.
Athletics, please.
I feel like I'm
16.
helping someone row. Like,
So
am I in a boat?
I don't
by
know how I
myself?
have a +4 in athletics, but I'll
you
take
can
it.
help me while Winnie can help me while I push.
Yeah.
How's that, Derek?
That works. Yeah, with advantage works.
Okay, so do you want me to roll with advantage or do you want to roll with advantage?
Oh,
Eva?
please roll with it. I have.
Do you have a 0? Do you have a 0 in strength?
No.
What do you have?
I have a 1.
Okay, so we're the same. It's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
No, we're the same. I know Mikyl drew me buff. I'm not that buff. Okay, so I got a 10, but Derek, let me know if that's a pass or fail, and I'll use my psionic knack.
That is a pass. It's just to see how fast you can go. You're
okay.
all rowing fine. Yeah. But yeah, so Scarlett surprisingly just fucking hoof it. I mean, like shoulders. It's like when you like Scarlett has worked on the rowing machine. Scarlett absolutely did Orange Theory.
It's that 69 HP really coming in clutch.
Listen, it's all the work you've been doing as a crew member has been paying off.
It really did, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, Scarlett's like got that really good like neck to shoulder to arm ratio that just like when she goes to like point at something, it's like, oh, excuse me.
Are the rowboats over here?
Yeah. So Scarlett, you were able to make it there even faster, and rowboats can only take about 5 to 6 people, tops, even less so if they have a centaur in them. But you're able to get a majority of the folks. It is going to be 3 boats are going to have to go back. So who is on the 3 boats left? So you get the first 4, solid.
I think Winnie will swim alongside,
Okay.
like on the way to the redemption, so that she can help like go back, take the rowboat back.
Okay.
Hopefully, help take the rowboat back.
Okay. So Winnie is swimming alongside. Konnery is helping to pull people aboard, and Trosho has already made with blankets and helping people. Trosho does get in the water to help Winnie.
And
Yeah.
checking like for
Yeah.
underwater.
I'm also in the water looking for predators.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
And-
those of us who can be in the water are probably in the water.
I'm gonna just keep effectively giving Acacia guidance.
Okay.
Okay. So again, 2 more boats.
Do you want us to roll again?
I'll take one over.
So Proximus has a boat. Are you rowing or swimming alongside?
I'll row over and then if they can
Swim
row
alongside.
over, then I'll swim back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. All right, and we'll say that Sammy can take the third one.
Did you want us to roll again?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a athletics check.
So that
for
was
those
a
of you who are-
22.
Cool.
I'm really sorry I just punched my mic. That's a 15 for Wynni.
Hmm.
Hi, baby.
All right.
Solid.
Proximus, you are moving pretty decently ahead of the rest of the group. You're able to gather up the last of the individuals. The keel boats have begun to move out just a little bit further than the Redemption at this point. Let's do, yeah. The rest of you moving your boats solidly. You've got full people aboard. Wynni, you and Trosha are probably the last in line at this point, and it is at this point that Acacia would spot something moving just beneath you. This thing that's kind of coming in from the deep, dark area from where you are. And Wynni, you're going to feel just a kind of tug at your leg, and then the pain is going to set in as these teeth go to pull you under. You are going to take, let's see, 22 points of piercing damage as these massive jaws, basically fully and grab your leg and start pulling you deeper and deeper.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and change up our music.
I don't like this.
No, that's not. Can I do something?
Yeah.
I would like to change the art. Okay. I would also screaming is a free action, right?
Screaming is always a free action.
Okay. So Wynni will scream in pain, and then she will. I assume this is a shark that we have.
This is a giant shark.
Previously discussed. She would like to reach into one of her little vials and get a little bit of some of that lavender water and just kind of crush it against the shark's nose gently. And she would like to use animal friendship.
Okay.
To calm it, because it could be big friend.
Okay, go ahead and read me animal friendship.
Why not friend if friend shape?
Exactly.
It's just a shark puppy.
It's just a shark puppy.
Right.
It lets you convince a beast that you mean no harm. It's a beast. It must see and hear me. If it's intelligence or 4 or higher, if spell fails. Otherwise, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by me.
Okay.
For
So what is your
hours.
what is your DC for wisdom?
16.
It failed.
And Wynni will switch to saying, "Don't hurt the shark," as loud as she can.
Okay.
Did he just say not to hurt the shark? I say to
That's what
It's
I
big
heard.
friend.
Moxie.
Is now big friend. We're okay. Just a little blood. I'm okay.
So when you feel as these teeth just detach from you, and it kind of backs up a little bit, and you see these eyes which have rolled over white roll back to black, and it almost gives you this giant toothed puppy look. It kind of tilts its massive head at you, and the Sahuagin who's next to it is looking back and forth, trying to wave the blood in the water away to determine why it has let go of you. And it says something in this horrible language and begins kind of smacking the shark to try to get it to actually attack you. It's even taking the blunt end of its staff, kind of hitting the shark a little bit.
I don't like that. Are we in active initiative, or can I do something to the Sahuagin? Because that's
You absolutely
shitty.
can. You are not in active initiative.
Okay, can I cast... Wait. Okay, I had to be sure it wasn't area of effect. I would like to reach out and smack the Sahuagin with shocking grasp. Because that's not nice. That's animal abuse, and we don't stand for that.
I will warn you about electrical attacks in water. That when you cast an electrical attack, it does double damage. It doubles the range, and it could potentially hurt you as well. So if you're not trying to hurt the shark, I wouldn't recommend a shocking grasp.
The range is just touch.
Is it touch? Okay.
So if I'm
you
not
know,
in
if you can get it where if you can get it where you are not going to, so touch I extend to like 5 feet, 5 foot radius, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't mind
if you can
it,
get
like,
it where the
blows back
Sahuagin
on
isn't.
me. I don't.
If you can get where the Sahuagin isn't touching the shark and conducting electricity into it,
yeah,
we'll say the shark doesn't get hurt.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll for damage for your shocking grasp.
Well, I should probably roll to hit first, right?
Yeah.
Nope. 21.
Okay. Yeah, I should also mention that electrical attacks have advantage. You know, it's kind of hard to miss with electrical attack, but a 21 absolutely will hit. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll for damage.
You said it's double, so that's just 12 total.
Okay. 12 points of electrical damage.
And the full weight of Wynni's disappointment.
The full weight of Wynni's disappointment is nearly as much as when the shark kind of looks to the Sahuagin and looks to you, its new friend, and basically just turns its entire body and chomps down on the Sahuagin, taking it even deeper. And the last thing that Wynni you see is this tail just kind of waving at you as it goes into the dark depths.
Bye. I'm gonna go stop bleeding now.
We're going to go ahead and get out of initiative then. Or we weren't even in initiative. We didn't get to it. That was a good solution to that. Okay.
It's a very Wynni solution.
It is make a friend out of a monster. That is a Wynni solution. Yeah, get ready for season 3 where the shark is like the Deus Ex Machina that I use to save you all.
Listen, if you want to bring back all of Wynni's friends that she's made throughout her backstory and like the entire campaign,
we don't have enough time.
Avengers assemble.
If you want to do that heartfelt thing of all the friends get together to show they support the protagonist trope, I'm here for it.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
I'll have a dragon turtle say on your left. That won't.
Oh my god.
Please.
I would die.
Nibirius needs to come back.
Yeah. Well, he's got an entire area. You can go find him. All right. So we will say that everyone is able to successfully get back to the ship. I was going to capsize one of the boats. We didn't even get to that.
Fine.
Yeah. Wynni, you have taken a little bit of damage. You're bleeding in the water, but nothing else really attacks you all. The Redemption set sail along with these keel boats. The Redemption is at half sail to accommodate for these keel boats, which just simply cannot sail as quickly. Tow lines are attached, since you all do have the sails of Everwind or whatever it is. So tow lines are attached to the keel boats by order of Konnery. You all have made it aboard. It is cramped, but you all do have your new ship. So I will actually, if you all would like to go over to Roll20 and check out your handy dandy map here. This is essentially the layout of the upper deck. Or actually, what did I call it? This is the middle deck, right? So your rooms, which only 2 of you use rooms, are at the stern there. So Proximus is towards the north, Scarlett towards the south there. Konnery has the captain's quarters towards the stern. I'm sorry, your rooms are towards the bow. Konnery's rooms are at the stern. You know, I ship stuff right. Okay, so as we go to wrap up here,
question.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have churning hull on the ship.
You do.
It would not affect the keel boats.
I believe it is only churning hull only affects enemies.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Make
will
sure we're
double
not
check.
fucking capsizing these poor boats.
And I feel like that's something you could turn on and off.
Yeah.
Because then you'd be
Very
fucking
good
yourself
question.
up if
Well,
you get in the water.
Right.
Well, yeah. I think it only affects vessels. I don't think it affects individuals.
Oh.
I need
Yes,
to
it
look
says-
more into that one.
Well, it does. It says difficult terrain for everything other than this ship. So it also like counts for monsters and stuff too. But yes, we will say it's something you can flip a switch for, so you don't constantly have a churning hull around you, because that is a nightmare. Who would want that all the
Yeah.
time?
You
Oh
would
yeah,
never
we're
be
gonna
able
go
to get off safely to go to land.
Exactly. We're gonna go ashore. Fuck us, I
Psych.
guess. Okay, so everybody's aboard. Everybody's been given blankets. It's a colder night, but still you're in the southern hemisphere, so it is still somewhat warmer. We're talking like, lower 60s. Honey has instantly made to the galley to make sure that there is enough stew for everybody. Constance has taken to the surgeon's office for anyone else who might have gotten injured. Konnery calls all of you in, beaten and battered though you are. He includes Dario and Dario. Yeah, they're a couple.
Oh, that's the
Dario.
ship name.
I told
Yeah, that's
myself
a
I wouldn't
couple
do
now.
that. Darius and Curio in as well, since they had been made familiar to him as well as the other officers. So you are in the office there that Konnery has, with all of the papers and everything around the desk, and he lays out a chart in front of you. So to go back to the main map, you will see on the main map there's this little ship right down here. That is you all. So Konnery asks, what is our heading? Where are we going? Where are we taking these people?
The closest is Shacklebreak, but I don't think that's a good idea just in general, because small, closer to the Nerian Empire, who knows, even if we don't even know if the Nerian Empire has already stopped there.
Not to mention the last time our ship visited that port, it was less than friendly, and he looks over at Scarlett. However, this is a new enough ship, they might not recognize us immediately.
Maybe
I feel
just
like with Eula being gone, we kind of get a pass some places.
And I think most of those longboats are destroyed, right?
You mean the longboat's full of like 100 people that Scarlett killed in a single action? Yeah. Yes, those longboats are gone.
Would you have rather it been you?
Would you say that they were long gone?
Okay.
Okay,
Moving
that
on.
one kind of stuck.
No.
for us.
Anyway,
Okay.
You're getting
options-
better
I'm
for it.
still a little delirious, okay? It's
Okay,
It's
fine.
the
how
blood
about
loss, it's
how about
okay.
we get back to the topic at hand of where we're going, because it's better to have a backup now if Shacklebreak is out of the question when we pass by.
Here are our options as far as I see it. If we head to the north, there's Shacklebreak. Any further north than that is probably a bit longer than any of these keel boats can properly handle.
Right.
If we head to the east, there's Mare's Mercy, which is a larger island, but that is also likely in Imperial waters by this point. There's Lymeria, which is larger as well. I don't know much about it. I've never actually been. If we head to the west, there's Gondola. It's not bad. Bit hot this time of year, but not terrible. There's
I think
yeah.
the weather is the least of anyone's worries right now.
If people
We
are
want
sleeping
somewhere
on
safe.
deck, it's kind of a consideration anyway.
They can use my room. I don't need to sleep there.
I don't know how many people can sleep in a closet, but that's very nice.
No, I have a room now, Winnie.
Oh,
But I will sleep in the closet.
okay. There's
They
also
can
my
use my
lab.
room.
Like I said, we
We'll make a
can
room.
get everyone nice and settled at some point, as long as we are moving.
I kind of mentioned this before, but I think there's probably going to be a fairly warm welcome back at my home. If
Winnie,
we wanted to.
I think that's good for a second stop, but we can't drop everyone off in sea elf territory. They're not equipped for underwater breathing.
Konnery looks to you and kind of turns the map towards Winnie. Which sea elf territory?
Up past Hillholm, just up here. She's gonna like jab her finger right down.
It's like right there.
Yeah. Would you ping that one more time? Because I don't think I had the map quite.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Tarhanwa Fall, Limerel. That one. There's room, there's some little atolls and stuff. And if not, maybe Hillholm itself. The halflings are pretty nice. And I don't think, GM, correct me if I'm wrong, but they would not be aligned with the Empire last I knew, right?
Not necessarily. No, that's a little bit outside. You're in the shatters at that point.
Yeah.
And the Empire does have pharaohs, but that's kind of like which is a little bit further up towards the mid-seas. The mid-seas are kind of this dividing line, like this. Let's see if I can make a line here. This line right here is kind of the Imperial's border, the Empire's border. So it wants to expand. It is expanding, as by evidence down here, but there's a lot of. It's not as easy to expand over here. Like Nios has actually a decent population on it, which would resist. What is this island up here? That's right. But anyway, yeah, no, a lot of the islands up here are like Elven held, or at least there's like treaties and things that would keep them. Certain areas of the Shatters were kind of like free-for-alls, and that's a big reason why they went after Soteria. Speaking.
If Shacklebreak is broken, can we stop in Karina
I was thinking the same thing.
and then head to Wynni's place?
That's not a terrible idea, honestly. Full Limeril it's a sizable kingdom. It's not one that would be aligned with Sahuagin or necessarily the Empire. Hillholm would be. Sorry,
We get their hooks in first. They don't get the chance.
The other
At
thing is
minimum,
that the
Give them
Seals.
the warning.
Well, that too, but the Seals do actually have colonies for trade on the Hillholm on the western side that would also be a part of the Empire. These people don't have to live on shoals and coral outcroppings. They don't have to live underwater unless they'd like to. So it might be one of our best bets, and we can skip our way past Karina and Anoth up to Hillholm, at least making sure these keel boats stick together.
It'll take a little longer, but it'll be worth it.
We also have to, even if we decide to not stop and drop people off at Shacklebreak or Karina, we need to stop for supplies. Because this ship cannot feed 5 keel boats, and I'm sure they're not packed to the brim with that many supplies for a journey to Sea Elf territory.
No, but between here and there, even some of the smaller places, there should be places to restock. Especially if we're kind of hugging some of the smaller islands and staying out of the way of like the major trade lanes.
Try to fly under the radar.
Speaking of flying, is there a Flitton or something nearby when you can be cuddling?
Yeah, we can say that Sammy is holding a couple of them, and we'll say that Demona is already in Winnie's arms as a solid purring.
I'll have to go digging for my quote-unquote captain's jacket if we're going to be presenting nice faces.
Konnery at that will go over to a chest and kind of just like brusquely open it and pull something out and toss it at you. You handed that to me weeks ago when you boarded the Red Owl. No, I didn't iron it.
Wouldn't expect you to.
Fine. All right. Sounds like we have a plan. We will chart a course to Karina. From there, we'll see if... Well, Shacklebreak first, actually. Chart a course to Shacklebreak. Check in on them.
If needed.
Right. Perhaps we could drop a keel boat off here and there as well. People don't have to go all the way to Hillholm if they don't want.
Give them the option if they want to drop off.
Whatever it is meant for the sea.
We can always shuffle around between boats anyway.
Right then. Well, unfortunately, the seas seem less safe than they used to. Keep a sharp eye out. Watch for other ships. Watch out for each other.
Don't trust in the other ship,
Best
might-
not to.
even if they're ones we know.
We might have to talk to some of them, though. Trust or no, just to get either information across or find out what's going on elsewhere. Also, with these keel boats, we should keep an eye on the weather.
Yeah. Does your ship have a non-pirate alias?
I mean, technically, since we became the Redemption, we haven't pirated anything.
Yeah,
Technically, we have no alias.
They're just a wandering ship.
Anti-alias.
Totally new ship.
Right?
Honestly, I am your only downfall.
Change the hair color. No one will recognize you.
Should change the name too.
You're so dramatic sometimes. It'll be okay.
Having backup names for cover is never a bad idea.
I'll be Constance. No,
No.
that won't work.
No. Constance pipes up. She's just like, no.
I'll work on it.
Listen, at this point, if we get boarded, that's the least of our worries. At that point, we're already fucked. So,
Yeah. Well,
we have some more armaments now, which is nice.
gotta make sure they work correctly.
You're welcome.
I mean, we're not going to just, test them out on the first ship we see unless there's reason. Right?
No.
Scarlett.
We will not be firing on other ships unless they fire at us first.
Knowing Buck, though, they work just fine. Perfect.
Okay. Just
All right.
checking.
And with that, Konnery rolls up the map and he's like, it's been a rather long day, if you don't mind. Please get the fuck out of the captain's quarters.
Aye, aye.
You're lucky I didn't move in with you. Scarlett
Before,
saunters out.
yeah, at one point in time, yeah, maybe some of you guys track it, but Proximus puts his hand kind of right on where the mid-seas are on the map and kind of turns away. He walked out well before this happened.
Okay. Anything any of you would like to do before we end the night?
Scarlett's gonna make sure the captain's jacket still fits.
It does. It's a little tight over the shoulders now, and you're like, oh yeah.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Been working out.
You can't button it as nicely, but it still fits.
I need to cut these sleeves off later.
Yeah, I think I do have something I want to do. I need to check how many uses I have on this item first, though. How many times can I use it? I can't use it until the next dawn, so once a day, Derek.
Okay. Yes.
So I'm going to use the Mirror of the Past, my new favorite item.
Yes.
When everyone has gone off to do their own thing and go to bed or, do their shift on deck, I have taken up residence somewhere on deck, probably towards the back of the ship, out of the way, just somewhere out of the way for everybody.
Mhm.
And I'm going to take out a small bag of copper coins, all of which that have some engraving or another on them. They're all different. And I'm gonna take one out that starts with that has a P on it, and I want to use Mirror of the Past on it.
Okay. What is this coin to Acacia?
So these coins are all things I have stolen off from other Evewalkers.
Mhm.
It is a game and training that we all do with each other. So each person engraves copper coins, leave them on your person, and people steal them from you. This specific one belonged to Panveer.
And as you look into the mirror, as the stars pass overhead on this near moonless night, you see a collection of images that all kind of combine in this not necessarily linear way. They're images of the friend that you used to have. And you can see this almost feel through the mirror these emotions with it as well. These emotions of like that giddiness that you get playing like hide and seek as a kid. And, Panveer taking the time to find a good hiding spot on their person for this coin. And the moment where you actually were able to pick it off in this moment where they had this vulnerability with you, a vulnerability that they rarely had because, there's no trusting in a rogue organization, but they always trusted you, this friend that they had. And you sit there and you watch these images and you can see your own face and this bright smile with these freckles and this young, full Acacia. And you just have to sit and wonder how it became what it did.
Where did it start changing? And how didn't I notice it?
For a past perception of 26. Yeah.
He was always a good liar and a thief, so.
Yeah. Stole even the good times.
Ow.
What I'm here to do. Okay, I think I was gonna do something else. We'll save it for next time. That is a good point to wrap up for the night. So thank you all for joining us. Let's go ahead and put on some not like whimsical accordion music. That works. Hi, everybody. I'm Derek Sword. I've been your GM for this game. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all so much for sticking around for another session of Horizon's Call. It has been fantastic having you along with us. Just a couple of things to note before I hand it off to these folks to say a little bit about themselves. Sword and Key is recruiting. I still feel like that's not the right word, but we're looking for players. We have a couple of games coming up in the near future in December. Both are horror-based games that are going to be GM'd by the lovely GM, Anik, who specializes in horror games. The first one is Trophy Dark, which is specifically going to focus on concepts like trypophobia and insects and like, of course, kind of like jungle exploration. And it's going to be great. Trophy Dark is a fantastic system. I love it very much. The other one is Mothership, which is a sci-fi kind of like thriller horror game in the same vein as like Alien or even if you think of like Alien type of scenarios like The Abyss. Things along those lines. So you're part of a crew. It's grungy. Bad stuff's going to happen. Definitely check those out. And if you are interested, please apply. We would love to have you on the channel. And just bear in mind that these are horror games. So if that is not your steez, please do not apply. There will be future games coming up in next year, more than likely, just with the way the months are, that will not be horror based. So there's going to be plenty more times to apply. Okay. There's that. There's also, again, if you enjoyed our game, if you enjoyed this cast, please support us through our pally.gg. Of course, if you do support us directly through Twitch that supports the channel, we appreciate that. That's great. But if you want to show this cast how much you appreciate them, please donate directly through there. Your donations do the exact same thing as far as granting advantages and black spots and all that kind of stuff. But your money goes directly to these people and helps support them and shows them how much you appreciate their craft. All that said, think those are all the boxes I need to check. So, Mare, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your lovely self, where we can find you in the near future, all that kind of stuff.
Hello, I am Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. I do stuff here, there, everywhere. I am on the leadership team as a producer and game runner over on Friends Who Roll Dice. And speaking of Friends Who Roll Dice, we are currently in Extra Life 24-hour stream. They have they've got 3.5 games left right now. They're in the middle of game 3 right now, but please go check out the channel and the Twitter. And if you have time up through 10 a.m. tomorrow, please come check it out and donate to a great cause. I will be producing the last game tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., which is a donator's choice game of D&D 5e. The audience has voted on all of our players, races, and classes. And if you donate up until the end of this game that's running right now, you can decide on what the genre of the game is and who the BBEG is. Every Friday night, I am on at Valdrian's channel at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, playing in an Avatar Legends game called Smoke and Ashes. And tomorrow on Valdrian's channel at 3 p.m. Eastern, I will be running a game of Magical Kitties Save the Day, where my players are magical cats with superpowers, and they need to go figure out who stole their owner's items. Spoilers, it's the No Good Party Paws, but who are the No Good Party Paws? Gonna have to come find out. And maybe keep an eye on my Twitter and the Sorting Key Twitter for some casting calls soon.
Absolutely. Like I said, stuff in the near future. Thank you, Mayor. Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl. You can find me at Mikyl Sandoval on Instagram and Twitter. That might change due to my regular job and threats that were made on social media, but that is a different story. So if my name changes, I will update everyone. But yeah, fun times. I miss this cast a lot, and we had such a great time. You can find me here on Saturdays on Horizon's Call.
Yeah. Mikyl just rounded out his run on VEASAN as well. So if you enjoy horror games with Anik, and also Mikyl, you can always find those in our VODs and also on our YouTube channel, Sword and Key YouTube channel. And also Mikyl did our fantastic art and did the art for VEASAN as well. So special thank you to him for all of the hard work and amazing craft that he puts into this. Kaila.
Hello. Hi. I am Kaila. I'm many faces, many places in TTRPG realm, as well as streaming and painting things on my own channel. I am currently in the month of dragons. We are painting all the dragons this month in prep of an art auction that will go to help supporting me with everyday expenses because I am losing my job in 5 weeks. And I also have to pay a very large dentist bill, so it's probably going to be covering that, to be honest. So that's all I got. I am on Twitch Thursdays and Saturdays upcoming. Gonna start doing streams on Tuesdays as like a co-working environment. There's not gonna be any face cam, there's not gonna be any audio. It's basically gonna be chill music and working alongside one another.
Sounds amazing. Sounds lovely. Yeah, Kaila and I work together, so we're both losing our jobs in come December, middle of December. So yeah, definitely support our projects, please and thank you. Eva, if you don't mind running us out.
I'm never prepared on the mic. Hi, I'm Eva. I'm the other half of Sword and Key. You can find me on Twitter at the Eva Serrate, and some various other places under the same thing. As has been mentioned multiple times, we have new and exciting projects coming down the line, as well as old favorites. Yeah, I think that pretty much does it for me. Short and sweet tonight. Thank you, everyone. Please stick around. Very, very briefly, we're going to raid Friends Who Roll Dice after this, and their Extra Life campaign. And we will see you tomorrow morning at, I don't know, 10 a.m. Pacific for our season finale of VEASAN, the aftermath of everything that happened last week.
There were Krakens last week too. Did you want to? Did you want to promote what you're doing after this?
The tech game you're running for?
Oh yes. Oh good lord. I am running tech. Speaking of Friends Who Roll Dice, for the Extra Life game that starts at 8 p.m. Pacific, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which is going to be amazing. Between all the character inspiration art I have seen and the game mood board, it's going to be good, y'all.
They're running a club.
Yep. Girls Night Out. Night is spelled with a K. So
beautiful, wonderful, love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, like I said, my name is Derek Sword. Yes, that is my real last name. Yes, it is awesome. No, you can't have it. But most of my energy is being put to Sword and Key today because I am the sword half of Sword and Key. So definitely check out our Twitter. It is Sword and Key separated by underscores. And yeah, like I said, we have the applications out. We've got a lot more stuff coming along. We'll have a Discord up soon. We just made not a link tree, but the other one, a beacons. So that'll have all the stuff there. You can always find our stuff on YouTube. Sword and Key has all of our shows there. And I really hope you enjoyed Horizons Call Day. It's been absolutely fantastic having you all along for the ride. We will, of course, be back next week as the stakes get direr. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So yeah, from the bottom of my heart, speaking for myself, speaking for Sword and Key, thank you. And fair winds and following seas, brave mariners. We will see you next week.